Okay, great. So join us. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I was concentrating on other things. So Lisa Marie died. I got the feeling that she might cross over. It's her son died, I guess, a couple years ago. I'm not going to channel her. I'm not doing that. I'm technically I am right now, but that's as far as it's going to go. But yeah, I feel like other people would say, yeah, she felt pretty heartbroken. She just kind of just didn't have anything else to do here. She wants to connect with her son that I guess committed suicide a couple years ago. So back in 2020, when the world was on fire, technically it still is. So she went to go be with him, we can say. So yeah, it's a rough energy. I wouldn't blame this on Elvis. I mean, Elvis wasn't perfect and all that, but people have their own demons. I mean, does he feel responsible? I think he just does what he can for her, but she has to deal with her own stuff. She didn't have to incarnate in that family. She could have did what she just chose it. It's just her own inner darkness she has to deal with. So of course Elvis had his darkness, and I don't, interesting. I could be wrong about this. I feel like Elvis and Lisa Marie don't really have much of a connection, really, other than being father and daughter. Because I don't think he really knew her that long. She was just a baby when he died. But on a spiritual level, I don't feel like they're that close. Anyway, so for those that are connected to all this. So, yeah, it's a tough situation, especially for the mother of Priscilla. It's funny, my cat's named Priscilla, so there must be a connection to that. I don't normally talk about celebrity deaths either. Well, right before I went live, a couple hours ago, I started to see it. So it looked like it was time to go, but wasn't. You never know. So yeah, it's something else. But Elvis's energy. I mean, of course, he's like he's there for her, but he's not. I don't think he's feeling like he's to blame for what she's went through and all that. But he's there for her. It's a hard life. And of course, Priscilla wasn't easy on her. So that has a lot to do with it because basically mom was there most of the time. So of course he was absent, but you have all those other people. So Priscilla brought a lot of people into her life that obviously Lisa Marie did not like. So that was a cause of a lot of her childhood pain, you can say. Of course, you might not hear about that publicly. Not that it matters. So, just feels like, and of course, Priscilla, I think she was part of Scientology, I think, or maybe that was Lisa Marie was part of Scientology. I don't know, whatever. I think they're both. I don't know. Fritzy's here, camping on my feet. So. So yeah, Lisa Marie energy. I can tap in. I'm not gonna channel her energy, but I can just tap in the spirit realms and kind of bring something that if even anyone even cares. I know, just don't channel that. The family is in pain. The family's been in pain forever anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, of course, others are going to tap into her energy as she's passed and channel energy and yada yada yada. It's like more like an entertainment value there. So whatever, it's soul growth, I guess, for some people exploiting it. It's for people that are bored. The Orion group. Or the Orion Collective or Orion in general, that's a kind of obviously it's on a fourth dimensional level. You can't really prove this stuff physically. But Orion energies they're kind of like infighting among each other, like different classes of royalty families. Orion, the constellation, is kind of like it's just very busy. It's like there's everything there. Like everything you need to do, learn, it's all there. Maybe too much is there. And it's all kind of connected. It's all kind of like universities, malls, or something like that. It's more to it than that, but just there's a lot, all these different alien species. It feels like it's similar to I'll show it here. It's a Valerian of a thousand planets. It feels very similar to that. I'll show this in a second. I didn't know ethanol was in that. Movie, I guess. Yeah. I'll show that in a second. So yeah, it's space politics. It wasn't always like that. But you can say it kind of turned into that over time. So, and that's why we're kind of connected to that belt. Yeah, because Orion's belt. I'll show this in a second. Get Elvis there. Anyway, it's not that important there. We'll go into it anyway. Yeah, just I feel like there's like hundreds of millions of stars and all of that. There's a lot of or just Orion in general, but yeah, there's just hundreds of millions of stars. Yeah, it just is a lot there. And also the Arctic Circle. It's around Alaska area. It's basically at the top, the northern hemisphere. I think that's what they call it. I'm not sure where I'm pointing. Fritzy's still there. But yeah, it's like an entry point for Agartha. It's just a lot of alien activity there. Of course, those are very third dimensional connected. It's funny when there's a lot of skepticism over fourth dimensional beings, channelings, and all that. Many people are very third dimensional. They can't conceive this whole non-physical reality. They just can't do it. So and of course, a lot of things cannot be proved, of course. But it is energy, and just many are just not ready to tap into it, or just they're going through whatever they need to go through, their own inner darkness, and they've had difficulties with the astral realm, spirit guides. They've been betrayed by spirit beings. There's a lot of that going on. So, of course, somebody here in the physical wants absolutely nothing to do with. So that's when you have the skeptics there. They're really kind of tired of the spirit realm. So it's just another way of looking at it. You're wondering why some aren't opening up. That's why. They feel betrayed by it, whatever it might be, or they're just shut off from it. They just can't tap into it. They don't need it. They're going through what they need to do here. So it's just different ways of looking at things. With the Arctic Circle is, a lot of diverse frequencies there for sure. Just put it that way. Yeah, it's an entryway into the Earth. It's where the aliens do scan our energies of the Earth. They do scan the ice, scan soil samples, things like that. But they do basically just it's just a lot of ships are there. Of course, you can't see them physically for obvious reasons. We're not quite there yet, but some can pick up on it. She's still there. All right. Okay. So I'm telling a comment for sessions. I have a scheduler. I have a shop here. I'm somewhere. The webinar, social network, behind the scenes. Digital issue. Where are we going first? As for Ryan, I'm having technical issues here. So yeah, the Orion group. Obviously, we can't. I mean, on a yeah, there's been like a lot of difficult beings that come from there. So there's good beings and not so good beings. There, some of our elf people, some of reptilian people, or beings. Yeah, it's just there's a lot there. So Valerian of the Thousand Planets. This isn't a very good interpretation of it. That's not a very good interpretation either. But either way, it's just a lot of, it's space politics. It's space. This wasn't done exactly well. But there are definitely worlds that are like this, very kind. But then again, they can get invaded, like what this one went through. So this movie had a lot of potential, but failed on many different levels. But either way, it's like a region of 1,000 planets that's like next to each other, something like that. It's been a while. This is a hard one to watch. It's a B movie. It starts off really good and it kind of drifts off into no man's land. It's too bad though. There's more to it than that. I'm just kind of taking the quick version of it. An Arctic Circle. I don't need that. Arctic. To give you an idea of where the Arctic Circle is. Yeah. So it's not a place that many people travel to, of course. Yeah, it's not. Imagine if you lived out there, your life would be a whole lot different. Of that region, just see things a lot differently, feel the aliens. It all depends. Everybody's different. Of course, not everybody's. I mean, if you're tapped in, if you're very third dimensional, probably not. But you're tapped into the non-physical, that's the place to be. Talk about a lot of activations. You might even like leave the planet. Maybe not fully, but either way, it's definitely a different type of experience there for sure. Not that I've been there. I'm just in good old Florida. All this, whatever that's here. The Bermuda Triangle. So, okay, all right, well. Yeah, so. All right. Okay, we'll go and tap into the energies of Melissa Marie. We do like just a spirit energy. I'm not gonna channel her, but channel spirit realms to kind of bring some insight into some of that, whatever it might be. Yeah, just some are very connected to these celebrities, and not that I'm trying to connect to that, but just I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. Well, of course, elf, is an elf being, which I didn't even think about. That makes perfect sense. So you have the elf family. So going through their traumas, probably Orion group manipulated, probably. Well, it's a royal family, so technically a musical royal family, technically. And then the Orion group tapped into some of those energies. We did what we did best we can here, and then the Arctic Circle frequencies, and see where it goes. So, all right, blessings. Here you go. Greetings to you. We are spirit consciousness, blessings, spirit realms, spirit realities, astral frequencies. Your Lisa Marie or any celebrity for that matter, yes, they realize what they're going to get themselves into. Yes, they do want quite a lot in one lifetime. It's like it's like they're showered by everyone's problems they surround them. They absorb a great deal. So one of the reasons I take those celebrity lifetimes, so they only have to come here once. course, she's just the daughter of Elvis, and she feels a little bit bitter. She feels like Elvis didn't love her that much. Of course, he did cross over, but you can say that she was a little bit angry about that because he should have took better care of himself so he could be around her. So there is a bit of anger there. Of course, yes, her anger does go to her mother's frequency because she felt she was neglected there also. So you have all these, and even if she got attention, she still felt neglected. We'll just leave you with that one. So the celebrity energies here, yes, are going to be very diverse. Many are just when it can. Well, they realize that many here have had celebrity incarnations, and were not exactly as you thought they would be. Once again, you live everyone else's problems, and you can't always connect to yourself. You can, but it's like you're a walking earthquake or a bomb for that matter. It all depends on the situation. So it just all depends on your incarnation cycle. The celebrity frequencies, yes, it's there to heighten the energies. Yes, also to control it. It's basically to help others in this physical reality, as you know. To basically to add flavor to it. Music adds a flavor frequency for you too. It's like the sugar to keep you here, to keep things going, to keep the waves, the ocean flow. Music is everything. It does come, yes, from the fairy dimensions. There's music always in all realities, and the fairy realms is quite prominent. This is fairy bands, musical arts that will some of you will start to tap into. And yes, without the celebrity status, you can actually feel like you're connecting to your sanity. Because music does heal trees, it heals humans, but also heals nature. It's just a frequency, it's a consciousness that you're bringing in for reality to sing itself, so it can just continue on. To without music, this world would not be here right now. If you truly cut out the music, this world would probably have imploded 500 years ago. So some kind of music, some kind of flow kept things moving. As some of you know, so how some of you feel like if you cannot live without music? See, even the elites that control your planet cannot live on this planet without music. So even so you have something in common with them, sort of. Blessings. Brings you a Orion constellation consciousness. There is, yes, many actually Orion groups. Those are there to help you with your ascension, and others there to have you stagnant and to not evolve at all. Because there are species of beings that feel like they're not evolving is evolving, taking things very slow. And it has its reasons because there's, yes, it's subjective, but some energy beings or Orion beings, like, yeah, society can go too fast. So it's basically, literally are alien societies to slow down your reality. um, like that's what their mission is, to really kind of control time. You can call them time travelers, I guess, if you want to. But there are time controllers. So why things are so slow in your reality is because you have a lot of influences here from other realms. It's not just because of lower frequencies. There are agendas here. It's like, think of like a planet of society beings that can speed things up or slow it down. You already see that within your timelines. Like your timelines are controlled. So if your timelines have a story also, your main timeline and your individual timeline, but their main timeline has a story. So why not time itself have a story? Meaning to slow it down. Yeah, speed things up when it needs to. It's kind of like you have different film grain. Like when you make a movie, it's like 16 millimeter, 35 millimeter. That has to do with time also. It's like you want things to speed up, we'll move things up. When we slow things down, they slow it down. So it's another way of looking at your reality. Yes, you don't have to look too deeply into that. That can drive you crazy. There are fractals of Orion beings here, royalty races that, yes, they do get a large platform here to control society. There are royalty races from Orions, not always Orions, but a lot of it is Orions that can influence your society. And doesn't mean that royalty, meaning like a king and queen situation, meaning that they just have a large following. You wonder whether, and they can happen quick also. And having it happen quick because it will die down eventually. I mean, they get there strong, they might last like 5, 6 years, and then everything kind of dwindle out. Either they fade out, go somewhere else, or they just kind of keep the fire going. But that is just show. So you wonder why some individuals show up, get really popular for a while, and then fade out. That has to do with royalty races. At least in your spiritual groups. Your Hollywood is a little bit different. That's more architecture there. I mean, if you join us, yes, Kiss the Ring, then we'll make you popular and things like that. And a lot of narcissism there. Washington has a lot of Orion energies also. The Orion energies within Washington is like self-sacrifice. Yes, literally there to destroy others with the political groups. I see politics are trying to destroy each other all the time. You might not be involved with that, but there's a lot of that happening there. But you see other countries trying to destroy each other. So they're not trying to destroy the society, but trying to destroy the political groups. So that's a negative Orion group. Literally just out for blood. Not all of them are like that, of course. There are Orion groups like, why are you doing this? And just making things difficult. Well, it's power. It's just, yes, kill or be killed. And it doesn't have to have a whole lot of meaning to it either. It's just like you don't like this person and then you just take them out. Just like that. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of deep, they're not into that. It just, greed has a lot to do with it, but there's different versions of greed. It doesn't have to be like financial greed, just be, yes, power greed. Usually it's a power thing. Financial is not really their thing. It's basically you're getting more attention than I am. You don't deserve this, and my politics matters more than yours, even if none of it makes any sense. Yeah, it's like I think some of you already have that. It's like the more crazier the laws, the politics on your planet, that's the goal. Make things insane. Like I said, it doesn't have to make any. It's like you're wondering why all these crazy things are being passed. Their tax laws that's the idea, to keep it insane. Why? To keep the chaotic frequencies going on. That keeps your society under control, sort of. Well, it's out of control. It's like all these insane laws that make no sense, as you know, like the marijuana laws and so on, the human trafficking situation. It's all done by design. So you look at those crazier laws. That is the Orion effect. That's one of them. So, of course, there's alien beings, of course, you're in the astral realms. Of course, your physical humans are taught they don't exist. Even just dark entities and all that, that's told that doesn't exist also, just to keep things going the way it is. Well, obviously, maybe here to change that. So, blessings. Greetings. We are the consciousness of the Arctic Circle. Yes, you say that's your links, yes, to the Mother Earth on many levels. There is, yes, a dark side of Mother Earth, but there's also a majestic side, a side of peace, but also a love for humanity. No matter how violent society gets, she's welcoming to this energy. Yes, a world now there's worlds that are far worse than this one, but you have a portion of the negativity going on in the universe. And it's not there for entertainment. It's basically let beings be who they are. But of course, eventually humanity will step out of this, but will take some time. Humanity has to want to change. Just like Like any person individually, of course, once you change, you can't just change a person. You can't just change the society. You have to let it happen on its own. That's why things take so long. So, but many of you that evolve, you do go to other worlds, but you do want to assist this planet even on an outside level. So you assist it on another planet instead of having to incarnate here. Of course, some do get pulled back into this world because of like you just go get so frustrated. You can only do so much outside of it. And you say, okay, fine, I'll just incarnate here. And yes, there might be some regrets with it, but a lot of times that's when you have your mission, especially when you get a lot of souls that incarnate here that don't know what they're doing and just kind of mess up everything that you created here in the past. So, like you did all this hard work, things are working well, and beings incarnate and it just mess it all up. And so that's why many of you come back to do some repairs. Yes, it might incarnate in the family line that caused it. It's not always going to make itself clear. So you have a lot of soul searching. Doesn't mean that this is all about the non-physical realms. It's basically, yes, the non-physical and the physical realm kind of making peace with each other, talking to each other. Because right now, many physical beings are not talking to the non-physical, as some of you know. And some of the non-physical beings are wondering why they're disliked by the physical realms. Of course, a lot of non-physical beings want nothing to do with the physical reality. So you have a war, kind of like a war or disconnect that has not quite connected. So when the non-physical and physical realms start to have more conversation, that's when things start to change. Of course, society is still going through its trauma, many different levels, a physical and non-physical trauma. So, but when society begins to take more seriously the non-physical realities, which many are completely in fear, so they have a long ways to go. So that's why things take so long. So many souls, the new souls come here and they derail a great deal. So you come back and fix it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's going to happen. It's just, yeah, is there a rush for this world to ascend? Not really. Humans here feel like there's a necessary, but you might as well do it right. So there's no real timeline that it happen tomorrow. It can happen, yes, thousands of years from now. There's no real rush. As yes, Mother Earth might be tired, but that's why many of you here. You come here to rejuvenate her frequency. Of course, she can technically disconnect from the world. She's still here, but she can take a break. And some of you have probably seen that.